You know that word credit? The one you probably associate with your credit card? Well, what if I told you it's actually one of the most powerful and hardworking words in the entire English language? It might sound a little strange, but stick with me, because we're about to see just how much heavy lifting this one simple word really does.
So, think about it for a second. A credit card, a college degree, and a famous saying. What on earth could they all possibly have in common? Well, it all comes down to that one little word, credit. Let's dive in and solve this puzzle.
All right, let's get right into it. The best way to think about the word credit is kind of like a Swiss Army knife for language. It's got all these different tools for different jobs. And we're going to start by looking at what it does when it's used as a noun. So, when credit is a noun, a thing or an idea, it can mean a bunch of really different things. We're just going to quickly go through them so you can see for yourself just how much territory this single word covers. First up, the one we all think of right away: money, financial credit. I mean, this is basically the engine of our whole modern economy, right? It's the system that lets us buy stuff now and worry about paying for it later. It's the entire idea behind your credit card, behind loans, all of it. This is a perfect example. The table's sitting in your dining room today, but the money for it, that comes out of your bank account sometime in the future. It's such a simple concept, but it's literally the foundation of how we buy and sell pretty much everything.
But credit isn't just about money, not at all. It's also about praise, about your reputation. You know, when you give someone credit, you're giving them the recognition they deserve for something they've done.
Right here, when we say the children should take credit, it's about owning a success. It has absolutely nothing to do with finances. It's all about acknowledging a great job, and that is a really powerful idea. And then you've got the academic world. In college, a credit is a totally different thing. It's like a building block, right? It's a little marker that shows you've successfully finished one piece of your education. Yeah, if you've ever been to college, you know exactly what this feels like. Every single one of those credits you earn gets you one step closer to graduation. So in this case, credit is all about making progress and hitting those milestones. You know, sometimes the easiest way to really get a word is to look at what it's not. So what's the opposite of getting credit or praise? It's getting the blame. And in the money world, the direct opposite of a credit on your statement is, of course, a debit. Seeing those opposites side by side really makes the meaning pop. Okay, so that covers credit as a noun. But what about when we use it as an action word? Let's flip over and take a look at credit as a verb. So in finance, when you credit an account, you are literally adding money to it. It's the action of putting money in. That's the verb that creates the noun, the credit that you see on your bank statement. This is a perfect real-world example. The bank made a mistake, so they took an action. They credited your account with a missing $50. They put the money back. And hey, just like the noun, the verb credit also works for ideas and reputation. To credit someone with an idea is to say, yep, that person is responsible for it. You're attributing it to them. So here, we see the verb credit being used in a totally different way. We're not talking about cash. We're talking about who came up with a famous saying. It's just another amazing example of how this one little word does so many different things. So let's recap. Financial, academic, reputation. Credit does all of it as a noun and a verb. But why? Why this one word? What makes it so incredibly special? Well, we're about to get to the big reveal. Okay, so this isn't an accident. The fact that credit is so unbelievably versatile, it's not random. This word was chosen. It was chosen for a very, very important job. And here it is. Here's the secret. Credit is on a very special list. It's one of only 850 words on something called the Basic English List, a collection of the absolute most essential words in the entire language. Yeah, you heard that right. Just 850. I mean, think about it. Out of the hundreds of thousands of words in English, this tiny list is considered the essential toolkit you need for clear, everyday communication. So this list, it was put together way back in the 1930s. The whole idea was to create a simple but super powerful set of tools for anyone to speak English anywhere in the world. And for a word to get on that list, it had to be a workhorse. It had to be flexible and do multiple jobs. And credit, as we've just seen, man, it's the perfect example of that idea. And this whole idea, it really gets to the core of what makes communication work. It's not about using the fanciest, most complicated words you can find. It's about really mastering the ones that are the most useful. So, what's the bottom line here? It shows that you don't need a massive vocabulary to express big, important ideas. Words like credit really are like a Swiss Army knife for language. And that means mastering these core words is the absolute key to communicating clearly. And that brings us to one final question for you. The next time you have a big idea, something really important you need to explain, don't automatically reach for a thesaurus to find some obscure, complicated word. Instead, just think about the power of keeping it simple. How could you use that core toolkit of words to get your big idea across?